Sorry.
Do you know that meme?
Maybe.
It's like they I'm pretty sure what it's from is the ASAP Mob released this DVD with one of their albums called like AG or AWGE, where it's just like videos of parties and songs and all sorts of stuff. And there's this video of Playboy Cardi from I guess an older song, and he's like in this skeleton shirt. He's in this really strange shirt, and he's like singing. It's the middle of a song, and he just starts going, "My stomach hurts, my stomach." Like, this is a rapper.
Have you listened to that the one Future? It's not Future and Young Thug. It's like the two worst versions of them.
Gunna and I Can See Myself. Hello, friend. Yeah, I was just editing a video, but I don't care now.
Yeah, I said I empathize, because, like...
My stomach hurts.
I'm similar in my procrastination at some points. Alright, everyone, welcome back to Whatitis Cast.
We're hopping right in. Number 4. And guys, before we jump in, just make sure to smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, fund us on Patreon.
Follow us over on Twitter and Instagram and
Napster. Send us your locations.
Follow me on Spotify if you want some playlists.
Buy Tinder Plus.
Yeah, buy Tinder Plus.
Search Australia.
Buy some diamonds for Clash of Clans or whatever.
Honestly, I imagine Clash of Clans still has a pretty avid player base.
Yeah, I know, like, a fair amount of it went over to the other version of the game, the Clash... The Clans?
Clash Royale.
Yeah, Clash
Royale. Clash of the Clan.
The Hunger Games.
Okay. We are going to... Oh, we forgot MySpace. That is very true. Honestly, let's go on a quick sequitur here. The idea of bringing up MySpace as like a cultural artifact is such a weird thing. In terms of like, I'm trying to remember when I've seen this happen. Some guy might try to come into the study room I'm in right now, but people are like, "Oh, that's social media. I made a MySpace." It's like supposed to be like an edgy hipster type thing of like, MySpace, guys, come on. It's a fascinating, weird little thing that'll happen and continue to happen with each platform as they go to... We even kind of did it when we were doing those jokes.
I mean, do you think that our current social media platforms will have like a plateau period? Like, do you think that they'll die out like MySpace did?
I don't know about Facebook, Instagram, maybe Snapchat, because they're the one who's getting a lot of like, they're done for, you know?
I mean, yeah, I see that. I guess, like, my Snapchat usage isn't as much as it used to be. And it doesn't really, like, accomplish anything for me that now other social media platforms can't accomplish either. But I find it, like, it's hard to fathom an existence where, like, Facebook and Twitter and Instagram are, like, old memes now.
They are definitely taking hold, unless there's like serious innovation, which, I mean, if we could imagine it, we wouldn't be doing this goddamn What It Is bullshit. That was a joke. We have a lot of love and admiration for our fan base. We do this for you guys. We wake up every morning and we look at our subscriber count. We're like, each soul who is a part of this, we do this for you.
Fund us on Patreon, by the way, link in the description.
Okay, let's jump right in.
Let's just jump right into it. Philip DeFranco speaks out about the BetterHelp controversy. So there's a huge thing about BetterHelp. A bunch of people calling it a scam, or some sort of fraudulent thing. Philip DeFranco was on the... I should have said agency thing. I can be more... better at English than that. An agency slash marketing company for YouTubers. There's a whole thing because Philip DeFranco kind of spearheaded an effort on behalf of BetterHelp to get it, to get them sponsors, or to be sponsors of a lot of other YouTubers. So certain YouTubers like Jack's Films would have his video sponsored by BetterHelp because, or I guess through Philip DeFranco's company sort of bringing the two, the YouTuber and the company that is BetterHelp together. And so now that there's this BetterHelp controversy, Philip DeFranco is now also under fire for like being a part of some sort of alleged Ponzi scheme. And the other sort of interesting facet of this is that they're sponsored. I think one, there's an upfront payment for like having your video be advertised, but there's also a sort of code, or like a coupon code, I guess. So it'd be like, sign up for BetterHelp using this promo code.
Yeah.
And the YouTubers get paid like $200 per sign up with their code. So it's like this weird like incentivization to get people to, it's like,
It is actually quite true. If you want to support them, you're like,
yeah,
use my code, but you're signing up for therapy, which is,
it's like this weird monetization of mental health, which is this like gray area, I guess. So I guess like the first thing that I think about is like, what's the ethical boundaries of sort of advertising mental health, or is it even possible to try to mass produce mental health in a corporate way and have that be like ethical?
Hello Friend is saying glorifying is the word.
Is it? Yeah. I mean, if you see a lot of BetterHelp ads, they're kind of like weird. They're like stereotypically attractive people looking in the camera, and it's like, I used to be down on my luck. Then I tried BetterHelp. Come join BetterHelp.
Honestly, it's hard to talk about because it's one of those things that you don't want to discourage people from trying to get therapy if they feel they need it. But at the same time, it's like, I can't look at chat. I can't look at chat right now. Hello Friend just said something about neon gray, but it's this weird balance, weird balance of you want to like because it is a problem. You want to be like, hey, here are resources, but at the same time, should people be making money off of like putting resources out there? And you know, most people know there are resources. I'd say BetterHelp is a more accessible way than therapy and professional help, or alleged professional help, given that they don't thoroughly vet their people, apparently. It is definitely a way people can access help a lot easier, but where is that line you want to draw for, like, how much we should be pushing, hey guys, get help, it'll help me, I'm the person you like to love and support. If you can't give your parents, that was a bad joke. I'm not making this awful mental illness joke.
I mean, it's almost kind of like advertising, like medicine, like medication almost.
Definitely a lot better form of medication.
Yeah,
I feel like you're
like
gonna
no
get
awful
some
side effects, or yeah.
But hello Friend just said, Wes, you have an anime preschooler laugh.
That's true.
That's how much do you want to talk about this? I don't have that many points on it, to be honest.
I just wanted to bring it up because Philip DeFranco, like, the like kind of sub point I found is interesting about how his parent company and like sort of the vision for it. I like tried really hard to find the name, and I knew I found it somewhere, but I couldn't find the name for his company. But how he wants it to be sort of this agency or marketing company for YouTubers to help like YouTubers get research, get like certain services, I guess. and allow them to connect to resources that would help enable them to make more videos. And so I think that's like an interesting goal that he has, and there would be like interesting ways to go about it in a way that's like pretty beneficial for the YouTube market, although his first venture obviously didn't pan that, like just generated a bunch of negative press for him.
I think it's a very interesting thing to bring that up, of like the idea of bigger YouTubers trying to be like, hey, we want to create a network to help smaller YouTubers get to where we are, like we're going to provide you the resources, things like that. It kind of makes me think of Ice Poseidon's, God, I can't remember the name of it. He has like this network for other live streamers. It's like Spam something in chat is the name of it. I don't know if anyone in the chat knows what I'm talking about. But it's a weird thing because it's like, it's kind of the move to make the most money off of a platform is when you're big, you're like, hey, I just want to like, you know, provide help to you guys, but set up this network where, you know, I'll take a cut. I'll be Team 10. I'll be the Jake Paul of you guys. You're all going to get your time in the spotlight, but, you know, I'll get a little cut. It's a weird thing. And there's just this constant, like, battle between, like, where is good intention, where is I want more money. It connects right back to the better health thing. And, you know, you guys, anyone in the chat want to join the Whatitis network? We'll let you come on the live stream or the live stream.
Team Whatitis, you pay us money so that we are your friends. We're like escorts. We're like internet escorts.
Someone just asked, what is that other YouTube tab? I believe it's the shows what's going on in the stream. You could open it, Wes, and see.
Oh, the other YouTube tab is like the, yeah, like I can show you guys. It's basically the live streaming portal, I guess, or page to set up live streams.
It shows the other half of our bodies. And
Yeah.
We're both naked.
Yeah. It shows us from the waist down.
We're actually, no, it's like the Rick and Morty sketch. We're attached. If one of us moves too much to the side, we pull the other.
It'd be quite the background change between your half of the screen and mine.
Mm-hmm. All right. You want to move on to Kanye visiting the White House?
Yeah, I guess just like one last point is how like it's pretty similar to Casey Neistat's 368, like the sort of agency marketing idea.
It's like the play when you're at a certain level. It's like you want to bring in other people. And I think it often leads to, so say you're someone known for doing one thing. Here's how I'll connect the idea. It's like if I'm Philip DeFranco, I do like news, I comment on news, I give my opinion, I try to give an unbiased take, and you're like, okay, we're opening this up to any aspiring YouTuber. What ends up happening is you might have someone who's like, I do lifestyle videos, I like to do like beauty vlogs and things like that. I'll be in your network, but then because you're the leader, Philip DeFranco, you might not fully understand what's being done then, and then you have like kind of a relationship. The problem I'm trying to bring up is that sometimes when you create a network like that spans beyond things in your scope of interest, you often can't be like the best leader for someone else of a completely different market because you don't fully understand it. Does that make sense? I've kind of confused myself even talking about it, but you like expand your reach too wide. It's like Casey Neistat with gaming. Like, why are you trying to do a 368 gaming division? Like, you have no foot in this industry. I get you're trying to like span out, and it's just it's a weird thing because I don't want to say people can't do certain things, and if you have like the drive and the know-how and people who will help you, like by all means go for it. But it definitely like opens up the door for just like making a lot of mistakes and not actually knowing what you're doing, and kind of like hopping into another part of online culture that you have no idea the norms and the history of. That's my qualm.
Yeah, I mean, I guess that's why you just like hire the right people and don't micromanage. Like you just you hire the right people and just trust them to know what they're do the thing that you hired them to do. I guess like the other thing that it made me think of is if you have this sort of multi-channel network, and then like some lifestyle vlogger says something racist, and then now you're like tied. You're like associated with this controversial figure. It's like a bit of a liability to tie your name to someone.
I'm looking. Someone asked us, what do we think of Davey 504? From what I can see, from what I'm looking at, is that he is a bass player who makes a lot of very clickbaity looking videos. If you look at his channel, very popular.
What's his name?
Davey 508. I'll just read some of the titles because our audience isn't looking at it yet. But playing a pasta bass guitar. How to make a girl smile.
I've seen a video of his. I've seen the God, what was it? It was like Deadmau5 says this looks impossible, and it's basically just Deadmau5 saying like.
Oh, I did actually see that.
It was Deadmau5 saying that like, oh, like this would be hard to do in real life, and then he just does it in real life. I'm like, okay. Deadmau5 just probably just said something to say something and was wrong. That's surprising.
Here's what I'll say.
I watch Adam Neely, who's a bass player, YouTuber, and I like his videos a lot. This video is sponsored by Adam Neely.
We have 2 new subscriptions that it's showing. We recently subscribed to Gaia. I don't know how to say it. And Chris Fleming. Chris Fleming is really funny. Y'all should check him out.
Yeah, I do like Chris Fleming.
Apparently he does stand-up tours. I kind of want to see him live. But I guess opinion on Davey 504. It's clear, I think, if I was a commentary channel, we're going to talk some shit about... we like Big Joel.
Huh?
Is Big Joel still there?
Big Joel just released a video today. It's pretty good.
What was it?
It's about Shark Tales.
Okay, back to the point. Commentary channels would say something like, this guy uses such misleading thumbnails. Some of his videos aren't even about what he's, like, maybe. I don't know. I'd have to look more at the videos. I think it's clear he knows what he's doing marketing-wise. And it's like, if we wanted to... hello friends leaving. Goodbye. It's clear if the quickest way to grow a channel is to do, like, these absurd thumbnails. And look at some of his older videos where it's not nearly to the, I can imagine, honestly, some of those have more views than some of his newer stuff, so maybe it seemed more genuine, I don't know. But up at the top, it's clear that they're like, he's learned the formula to get the most amount of, like, you can trick the algorithm, you get the most amount of clicks from different people. Yeah, so I think it's hard to go against the guy. A lot of people on the platform are just trying to make money, and it's understandable that you would use very clickbait-esque type marketing schemes. But I'd have to look more at his videos to give a better take, I think.
I mean, his older videos might have more views just because they've been around for longer, but they don't.
That was the other kind of.
They don't really have that many more views. Because, like, I'm looking at a video from 5 years ago as, like, 100... Okay, the most one I see is, like, 500,000 views. Almost. 448,000 views. And then you go to one... So that's over 5 years. And then you go to one from 10 months ago. It's 1.9 million views. So, I would say...
It's also, like, the natural growth of his channel. I think being on YouTube longer, you, like, hone in on exactly what gets you the most views. Like, even thinking about our videos, when we, like, look at why it works and try to think, like, oh, what were some of the things we were doing in different episodes that got us the most views, like, the most growth on the platform. So that's actually a really interesting thing to think about is, like, you know how they have, like, economic theories of, like, progressions of businesses and things like that? Like, the longer you're on the platform and the more success you have, you're, like, going to hone into certain behaviors, which are, like, the optimum adaptive behavior on the platform to get the most views. So it's like specific things like edited thumbnails, putting a certain amount of tags. I have YouTube Studio. I'm confused.
I mean, that's what stuff like TubeBuddy sort of does. Is it like
they try to like
the optimum growth theory, I guess. And even looking at this guy's channel, like, you see certain things that are, like, self-referential to the platform. Like, I found Thanos' base. Like, he's just, like, able to incorporate... Or there's one where he's, like... It's, like, the bee meme, or the emoji, the bee emoji. And it's, like, base solo, but every string is tuned to B. And I imagine he probably has one where everyone's tuned to E or something like that. When the E meme is popular.
Blank for blank. Everybody, there it is. There it is. These are long-form memes making their way into every facet of internet culture. The stuff we're saying means something. Please acknowledge. You want to talk about Kanye in the White House?
Yeah. So,
all right. You want me to take the wheel?
First of all, I have to say, I'm disgusted.
I think it's very, very amusing. He's kind of like, I've said this before. I don't know if I've said this on any online platform, but this is like one of my phrases I'll throw out there to be like, I'm so deep. It's like the real modern royalty is Kanye West and Kim Kardashian. Everyone just take a second. And clap for me. Clap for me. On whatever.
Just
think. Stop. Just actually think about it. I think you get it, but just actually think about it right now. I know it's I'm 14 and I think this is deep, but they are like massively influential in culture. And then there's even like an idea of like, of course Trump right now could like start doing some shit in the office. There are checks and balances. I know about American politics and government, but there are things. The amount of influence Kanye has is very much on tier with a president or a politician or royalty or something like that, given the massive following and just like clout around his name. Honestly, that's a hilarious thing to think about. What if we just started acting like we had Kanye in all of our videos? Like we just heavily advertise for like Kanye's in this why it works, and it's like both of our faces going like, oh!
It's like it shows Kanye's silhouette, but it's in like the "what's this Pokemon" like sort of thing, and it has like a question mark in the middle of
it. Duos with Kanye. I want to make a channel fully dedicated to just really stupid shit like that, but it's a fascinating. He is kind of like the president of the internet in a way. We all stop anytime he does anything. He has so much like if when he tweets, all of his tweets go viral. It's just a fascinating thing to see him having this meeting with the man, the myth, the legend, Donnie J. Trump. Then also there was a famous football player there. I can't remember what his name was.
Like the intellectual point that I wanted to bring up with this was how like the way to like promote individuals is like so weirdly being conflated between celebrity and political, in the sense that like you think about how Donald Trump sort of progressed his way into the political realm and all the way to becoming the president, and it's basically just like Twitter, like outrageous Twitter statements that got memed around on, and so that his face was basically was covered 24 hours a day, every day, for the entire election cycle. And
maybe he is the president of the internet in the U.S.
And if you think like about how Kanye is now promoting albums, it's like the same way. Like he says a bunch of outrageous stuff, and he gets memed. Every news outlet covers him, and then his album does really well. So,
I think it's also because he has built this following through music.
Yeah.
And his music is pretty like historically good. That's true. But they're both like very good at using the internet. Maybe that's.
Yeah, and so it's just like how the internet plays into this like weird meshing of like marketing and advertising, especially when it comes to like this sort of like great man or like celebrity narrative. That's my
answer. IGYL286's question. we are both Americans.
Yes.
Land of the red-blooded, hot dog eating,
Baseball
hamburger
player.
munching, baseball playing. It says I have poor network connection.
You do?
My phone is just saying that. Let me know if anything.
Yeah, there's like 2 moments where you're choppy, but like you weren't saying, like it didn't interfere with what you were trying to say.
Okay. What else is there to say about this? I think it's just one of these things that, like, it would have been on the news if the internet didn't exist at the same time. It would still be a massive news event, just like having a huge music star meet with the world leader. Same time, the internet has just made this like another massive event that's just like on tier with a Logan Paul KSI type thing where everyone's commenting on it. And as a residual thing, you have Azalea Banks and Lana Del Rey's feud. So you get like all these different guest features. It's just an interesting thing that you have all of these different personalities colliding in one place. These massive fan bases all needing to pick sides and say their opinions on issues. And you have Azalea Banks and Lana Del Rey get into a little bit of a beef or a spit or a bit of a brawl, an online brawl. What's your opinion on that?
I think it's very in character with Azalea Banks.
We actually have talked about Azalea Banks before on this live stream, right? Maybe it was in the first one.
It might have been the first one where it was live streamed, but the VOD didn't go out. Yeah, it was like Azalea Banks and Grimes had the... Azalea Banks just likes picking fights with indie singers.
I feel like Grimes and Lana can't be put in the same category by a music title.
I tried.
You tried, but quick sequitur. There's this really great series on Netflix called Hilda, and Grimes is the theme song.
Oh.
That's what I got.
Cool, Blair. Thanks for coming onto the podcast. So,
all right, guys, I'm gonna go. Let's get to handle this.
I think this, like, one of the benefits about having the internet and having this greater connectivity is that you can have a bunch of different diverse groups that wouldn't have been able to interact before are able to interact. And sometimes it's really mean, such as Lana Del Rey's fan base going at Azalea Banks' fan base.
I mean, they were both mean to each other.
Yeah, I know.
I believe. I think it's fascinating because it's like you definitely. So the way it's always going to be talked about by the media, because the media is trying to make money off of you, and a lot of YouTube's trying to make money off of you. In a way, we're live streaming to make money. It's just like the world we exist in. But we're going to try to uphold the idea that we're not going to like sensationalize things. We'll make jokes, but try not to be like, this huge fight occurred, and these people were saying horrible racial slurs about other people. The internet's the worst place ever. No, I mean, of course when you get these kind of meetings of online fan bases, the things you're probably going to hear about are the worst instances of it. But in reality, you get like these two massive fan bases talking. The internet's not always conducive to like very productive intellectual discussion, but we like to imagine that some people probably benefited off of talking with Azalea Banks fans. Some Lana Del Rey fans benefited off of it, and vice versa. You just get this weird kind of these massive followings and bubbles and hierarchies that are constantly meeting. Just a lot of interesting things happening because of this age of information. And of course, you do get some divisiveness out of that, but I think for the most part, people are just getting exposed to different things. It's just kind of like globally broadening the horizons of people who have access to the internet. I could be wrong though.
I just wonder why, like, is it just because like both parties in this are famous that they feel the need to react to each other? Like, if it was just like some random person doing the exact same thing to either of these artists, like, they'd just be ignored. Like,
it's weird. Sometimes they're not ignored. So, like, thinking about the Joe Rogan I haven't. I don't know what's going on in our chat. There's definitely some. All right, gotta focus on the conversation. There's a lot going on in the chat right now. Some all caps chatting, but it's an interesting thing because I know in the Elon Musk Joe Rogan podcast, Elon Musk talked about like not being able to hold back the urge to sometimes just say things, where it's like he would be looking through comments and it's like if someone said something really stupid about what he was, whatever he was doing or whatever he tweeted, sometimes he's like, I can't control the urge not to just be like, this is why you're wrong. Here are all the dumb things you said. So I really think that if someone had done a well-worded response to Lana Del Rey's criticism, and it had gotten like some support online, and it was like the second thing under her, you might actually get a response. But the fact that it was Azalea Banks is like huge because that's definitely, she has so many fans who will support her no matter what. Same thing with Lana Del Rey. So of course you're gonna get like a whole devolving kind of like everyone has to respond each time.
But it like from what I saw, I'm no expert in the matter, but it's like not, there weren't like really genuine criticisms on either side. It was just kind of like two people like playground bullying each other.
What I got from it a bit initially was that Lana Del Rey didn't like how Kanye, he's saying like he was a disgrace to even go and talk to Trump. Basically, she's very anti-Trump. And then Azalea Banks was saying something along the lines of like, you don't have the right to criticize him about this. Stuff like that. I think her privilege was called into question. The fact that she's white and Azalea Banks is black. I don't know. There was definitely some layers of criticism. I've heard from the grapevine of people that something had to do with the fact that Azalea Banks hadn't been defended by Lana Del Rey in the past in any of her other beefs, so she was upset about that. I don't know. But, I mean, talking about some of the stuff that ensued is more of what interests me, is apparently Azalea Banks responded to Lana Del Rey at one point just topless, just like a video. And I don't even know what to make of some of the stuff that just happens. It just blows my mind. This beef. I think Lana Del Rey threatens to attack Azalea Banks with her coven, like her coven of fellow witches.
Of witches?
Using, yes. It's just, what on earth is...
I mean, I think Azalea Banks is like, notoriously has no filter, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, she's just a person. It happens
That's true.
To be famous. Do you want to look in chat real quick? I'm interested to see what's...
Okay,
it's
we
just,
got...
It's just spam.
Do you like JoJo? Golden Wind, I like anime. Yu Yu Hakusho. I haven't watched it. Oh, walk off, all caps. Dragon Ball. GT LMAO. How many viewers do we have right now? Oh, we have one dislike.
That's
we have 3 like. Which one of you did this? We're coming after you.
We insulted Bo Burnham by calling Kanye the president of the internet. I think Bo Burnham's past the internet right now. He's off making auteur movies.
Oh yeah, with the. I need to watch that.
8th grade.
I was thinking. Yeah, I've been thinking about it.
It was pretty.
Yeah.
It was a lot of secondhand embarrassment.
So I've been told. All right, let's jump to a different topic.
Okay. I think they were talking about anime. What's your favorite anime, Blair? Why is it Naruto?
Honestly, I'm not versed enough in anime to give a good answer. I like Naruto just because it kind of like a coming of age, very quintessential anime. The idea of like someone training to become a ninja, it's just kind of like a zany TV show. I'm a big Konohamaru. I'm saying it wrong. I'm a big fan of him. I'd have to mull that one over. I'll have a better answer by the end of... Actually, no, I have my answer. Corey in the house.
Good meme.
Thanks, man.
Wait a minute. Corey in the house isn't an anime?
It's not an animated series. Boruto's dad. That's so right. Boruto's dude's dad is Konohamaru. Wait, no, isn't that Naruto? I can't remember. I didn't watch New Boruto, but alright, okay, we're talking about thetruth.com. Thetruth.com.
It's an
I'm sure
campaign. If you go into any Twitch stream ever, you'll see the ads. You'll see them on YouTube. We just want to talk about their advertising scheme.
I don't
say like scheme sounds like it's evil, but
yeah, I don't think I'm anti the truth. For those who don't know what the truth is it's our cult. We want you to enjoy. No, it's this.
We're kind of in a post-truth era, is what I've heard, but I don't know.
It's this. They're kind of like a foundation for like not ingesting nicotine by any means. It was mainly against smoking. They would do a lot of ads about how like, oh, the rate of teen smoking has gone down from 20% to 6%.
But we're not done yet.
We're not done yet, and they have ads that have gone viral many times. They've been around for, I want to say, at least 5 years, because I remember seeing their ads for a long, long time.
Yeah.
We kind of added it to this list because it's popped up again with different stuff about juuling. It's just interesting to see them continually pop up. And honestly, here's what I'll say. They're better at ads than a lot of other sites and like current corporations and foundations and things like that. We've come out and talked about like criticisms are kind of like mocking how companies have tried to use meme culture and meme marketing. The Truth has done a slightly better job, but they've also had some real slip-ups.
Yeah,
and
I remember like during like the like the general consensus of like how the internet was like this like LOL, I'm so random, XD RAR sort of phase, that like the Truth campaigns kind of went hard into that, and it was some pretty cringy stuff, and like the hype of like the Nyan Cat thing, and so they just like overdid the advertisement with
like
sort of, like unicorns and rainbows and stuff like that. It was pretty horrible.
What is ELO? Is that Electric Light Orchestra?
Yeah.
The band?
They did Mr. Blue Sky. And they're from like the late 70s. I'm gonna get fact checked on that so hard.
I don't have a founded opinion on them. Wes, do you have an opinion?
They make very happy music. They have some bangers, but I think that like the deeper you go into their discography, it can be kind of shallow. But the songs that are good are very good. They're kind of like and they kind of like they were very like pivotal in this huge wave of kind of synth pop, I guess. Or like pretty important in the beginnings of electronic music. That's my hot take on ELO.
I'm just gonna say Wes's opinion is my opinion. Or actually, has Anthony Fantano ever talked about it?
No, too old and not important enough, I don't think.
Well, whenever he does talk about it,
like
his opinion is my opinion.
Like you don't like ELO is like kind of blasphemy, I guess, because it's like saying you don't like Queen. It's like, yeah, I acknowledge Queen is good, but it's like not gonna be
is Queen that like
favorite band ever? But
is Queen that cover?
Is very good.
Is Queen that cover band of that new movie Bohemian Rhapsody that I just saw?
Yeah. Queen, Adam Lambert's the singer.
Alright. Bad memes. Joy Division? I've listened to some Joy Division. Ooh. I don't have a lot to say about Joy Division again, because just out of my expertise with music. What I will say is that I like that shirt has become a meme in its own right. I actually have I don't know if y'all are familiar with I'm Poppy and Titanic Sinclair, but they did a shirt mocking that as a meme, and they just put Titanic Sinclair on the shirt. I think it's just an interesting thing because it's like some iconic cover art that is just being repurposed. It resonates as a cultural artifact. How about 21 Pilots? Jesus Christ. Wes, give us your hot take on Joy Division.
Joy Division, very good. Joy Division, better than New Order. That's a hot take. Because Joy Division was a band from the early 80s, but then the lead singer killed himself, I believe. And he suffered from epilepsy. Well, this video is demonetized now. But, and then
Are you not allowed to say that?
You're not allowed to talk about suicide on YouTube.
That's so strange.
That's why our Logan Paul video got demonetized.
Nope.
Yeah.
Well,
so
maybe we edit it out in the VOD.
Yeah, maybe. Just like...
Actually, okay, here's what we'll say. If we cut out everything before this, if there was just a random jump, it's because we mentioned the unspeakable thing, which is a theory.
YouTube Big Brother doesn't want us to talk about.
Okay.
So anyway, Ian Curtis passed away. He suffered from like epilepsy and pretty horrible mental illness his entire life. And then when Ian Curtis died, the band that was Joy Division reformed and made New Order, which Joy Division was like a lot darker and more punk influenced, or like almost proto-punk, I guess. And then New Order kind of was a very innovative sort of synth pop group that really defined a lot of sounds for the 80s and early 90s.
I've definitely heard a little bit of both, but again, not enough to really sound like I know what I'm talking about, like you. Alright, Drake and Bad Bunny. Despacito 2?
Despacito 2, everyone?
Despacito 3?
Here's what we have to say about this. So recently, Drake and Bad Bunny, famous Latin or rising Latin music star, Bad Bunny, guy with he's kind of like 6'9", but just from a different country or for a different area. You're looking it up.
Apparently, it's the first number one Spanish song in Apple Music, but how is that not Despacito?
Not sure.
Despacito
I think
not count as. How is that not? I guess Apple Music didn't exist when the Macarena existed. Macarena was number one on the charts in like the late 90s. But anyway.
Here's what I'll say: is that this seems like a blatant attempt, like many, for American stars to hit more markets. But this one seems like they're trying to recreate what was done with Despacito. That's my hot take. I just get the sense that this is meant to be this massive collision. It's not a bad song. Then again, taste in music is subjective, so I'll let you guys decide. We're gonna play it for you right now. Never mind, we would get demonetized. Just kidding. Listen to it on your own if you're interested. I think that this was one of those things that was like, well before it was released, they were trying to be like, this is going to be a number one hit. This is going to be everywhere. This is going to be a huge deal. And I think they kind of missed the mark a little bit. The music video is lazy. The song's all right, in my opinion. Just kind of seemed like this idea of, oh, we create a Latin hit that has like enough rhythm that it has some easy words in it. Very similar. I see you with that Mac Miller boy. I don't know what that's referencing, but essentially, maybe it's one of the songs on the side.
There's a Mac Miller song on the sidebar, but I haven't listened to it. It doesn't show the red bar, so. You can't accuse me of listening to Mac Miller.
You can never accuse me of such a thing.
I think it's like hard to distinguish like the success of Despacito as a singular event. Like, it's hard to remove it from just like the larger context of Latin trap music just being popular or on the rise in general. It's kind of like it's in like this very similar area where kind of K-pop or J-pop is right now, where it's this like rise of non-Western, non-American / European pop music, and you could talk about it in like this like social diversity sort of way, but I guess like my point is I don't think people are looking at it as like, oh, Despacito 2 was really popular, we just need like more Latin songs. I think it's just like there's more people listening to Latin trap, and therefore already big name artists like Drake or like Justin Bieber will feature these popular Latin trap artists on their song. It's very similar to, there was that one collab between BTS, K-pop.
BTS and who?
I don't remember. It was BTS and someone. BTS collab.
I guess
The
what reminded me of...
BTS and the Chainsmokers, I think it is. There's also one featuring Designer, like stuff like that, where it's just, there's this huge rise of this like non-domestic, I guess, pop music, and so already established English-speaking artists are gonna associate with them because they're popular.
Mm-hmm. I understand what you're saying. I think I need to personally mold the idea a bit more. I guess the vibe I just got from the song was that it was like, it was aiming for more than just being a hit for a different genre. It really, just because there's two massive names. I keep seeing Bad Bunny pop up, and then also, I mean, Drake's been on the charts like crazy this past year.
There's also J Balvin has been another very successful Latin trap artist. He just released a song with someone.
Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. All right, let's move on. This is going to be a pretty short stream today, I believe. Wes and I are both very busy student boys. But next we have this new ad that came out recently. I'm sure you could probably play it in the background.
I'll try to
find it. It's got Ninja in it. It's got Travis Scott in it. It's an ad, I believe, for phones. But at the same time, let's actually pull it up.
Yeah, it's for the Galaxy 9.
Okay. This is quite the thing if no one's seen it in the chat. It's quite.
I'm playing it in the background. I don't think we'll get dismonetized because we're sponsoring them.
Yeah, we're sponsored by.
This video is sponsored by Travis Scott.
Kanye's gonna come out pretty soon, guys. Okay, the premise of this commercial is that this girl is very good at Fortnite, and then their like local game stores like, we want to sponsor you, and she gets like a free Samsung whatever iPad thing they have, and then her mom's like, honey, Travis Scott wants to play with you. And Travis Scott shows up doing his little hand thing, and then it happens again. This is next with Ninja, and she's on the national team. But this just seems like another hit and a miss from a corporation of trying to interpolate all of these different very popular things, and it's just like a little bit out of the time period of maybe being at its maximum effectiveness, because Astro World, I don't believe it's at the top of the charts like it used to be. It's just not as culturally relevant as it used to be. Ninja, Fortnite, all of it is just not as culturally relevant as it was like a month and a half ago. So it just feels...
It's almost like they have, like at the marketing teams, like this giant wheel that they spin of just like cultural icons. And they spin it 3 times. Fortnite, Travis Scott, and Ninja are the 3 names that they pull from their basket. And that's how they make commercials. Like, honestly. Like
I mean, but then they don't update the wheel enough. Or it's hard to update the wheel. They need to start watching our podcast to figure out what's hot hot on the internet.
Yeah.
This isn't a podcast. It's a live stream, guys. We don't podcast. We're not H3H3. Yeah, the commercial just seemed like a kind of failed attempt to make something trendy. It was like heavily paid for to be on tons of different ads across YouTube. So a lot of people saw it. I don't want to conflate how many views it has with its success as a commercial, but it's just one of those things. It's another example of corporations trying to hop in on like popular culture, or what is kind of internet culture, because the connection between Travis Scott and Ninja has to do with like the tops, the most popular elements of certain cultures connecting and becoming this kind of like amalgam of what is popular culture, and a lot of it's facilitated by the internet. Travis Scott, or throwing it back to Drake playing duos with Ninja. It's like Drake knows he's going to get buzz for his album or whatever he's doing if he goes and hops into like whatever the trending thing in popular culture is. So you get like this weird mixture of gaming culture, of hip hop culture, of all of these different things because they're all kind of interconnected and everyone knows about everything because everyone knows about most popular culture right now because of the internet.
And a segue.
That's what I got.
Do you think that Call of Duty Black Ops 4 will take up like the same space that Fortnite has? Like it's hard because Call of Duty has been very up and down in terms as a franchise. Like there's definitely been some games that have been more popular than others.
One sec. IGYL286. You don't know what you just did. You don't know what you just did, buddy.
The Smiths are my favorite band. Personally, I'm not gonna belabor the point, but I think
I'm gonna go back to my drawing right now. You can you can have the stage.
The Smiths and Morrissey. I think Morrissey has some good tracks. Obviously a controversial public figure, but his entire image, even from the Smiths, has always been this very like real, blunt sort of persona, and so to expect any different of that from Morrissey going into his solo projects and his later years isn't really just like understanding who he is as an artist, I guess. Like he's always been the person who's going to like say things because he feels them. And in the current year, it comes across poorly. That's not to say that I agree with his opinions because I often don't. But yeah, the Smiths was a better band than Morrissey is currently. I actually did listen to Neon Gravestones, but
is that the album? The
no,
new one?
that's a singular song from Trench, which is the album.
Okay.
I saw like a polyphonic video about like the lore that went into the album. It is kind of interesting, although like I think it was like this like concept album about this like dystopian city. And I think
that's interesting.
It's kind of interesting, although I think like it's easy to get into like tired dystopian tropes. Like it's been around for so long that like it's hard to come up with original things in like a dystopian setting. Like a lot of the iconography was very like Anthem-esque, that from the Ayn Rand book.
Mm-hmm.
It is kind of what I got from it. My favorite Smiths track is probably I don't know, maybe William is Really Nothing is good. Maybe This Night's Opened My Eyes, maybe something like that. All right, we can.
I like what's the one with the double-decker bus? It's really basic.
Yeah, There's a Light That Never Goes Out. You also really like Meet Us Murder. I know that specifically.
Alright, let's...
The White Stripes. This isn't a music channel. Leave us alone. The White Stripes fine. Jack White's a good guitarist. Meg White's a mediocre drummer. They made some bangers.
I think Jack White looks kind of funny.
Yeah, he looks a little bit funny. I think both of them, both Meg White and Jack White, are kind of interesting looking people. Call of Duty Black Ops 4. Will it have the same impact onto the culture as Fortnite?
I'm gonna go with my guess is no.
Yeah, me too.
The
problem is that it's a $60 game, right? And Fortnite's free.
That's very true. Also, part of me really wants it to be as big as maybe Fortnite would be, just so we get some reprieve from Fortnite and Fortnite dances and things of that nature, just like continuously popping up. Because honestly, like the Fortnite dances are they just keep popping up in memes. They're really making their stay.
Yeah, even until October, like you see all the, is his name Scance? whatever the skeleton is, the blue eye that you see the memes all over. Like there's Fortnite dances with him. I saw this one Ben Shapiro thing where he's playing the violin, and they do like a violin version of the Fortnite song. Like
that is a great Ben Shapiro meme. I love that Ben Shapiro is being embraced by meme culture. It's like he's this weird internet conservative pundit that is going to like. I could seriously see him like making a run for some major office in the next like 10 years, just because he's so known by so many people online.
Do you think like I don't know if he has the same, maybe he's like the perfect balance of like American conservatism yet also like meme appeal that he could do well. I don't know. It's hard to imagine. It's hard to foresee what sort of political future we have.
I've heard about.
This isn't a music channel. Talking about memes here.
Listen, we're talking about internet culture, and this all connects to an extent. You can really just connect anything to any culture. That's a life lesson. Everything connects to everything. Call of Duty Black Ops 4, there's this new thing in it called Blackout Mode, I believe, which is essentially just copying Fortnite.
Is that what it is?
That's what Banner told me. We're referencing my little brother. Shout out Banner Chapman. Oh shit! No, y'all already know my last name. Let me think for a second. So what I've heard is that it's kind of a mixture of a bunch of iconic Black Ops maps. So they have like Nuketown as an area you can be in on the greater map, and it just sounds like essentially it's just a copy of Fortnite, and it could be successful. It's like pulling a bunch of like Nuketown is a pretty iconoclastic video game map. There's a lot of like Call of Duty and things like that that's like so many people know about that really like you can make jokes about it. It's weird how Black Ops will pop back up in meme culture. It's like things that reoccur in meme culture, like it's kind of their way of saying like this is something that was really important during the time it was in its prominence. Like it really impacted a lot of people that it's going to continue to pop up. But memes can be about.
It's weird thinking about like I played a lot of Call of Duty, kind of starting with Modern Warfare, more into Modern Warfare 2, and then into Black Ops. And Black Ops was kind of like, no pun intended, the black sheep of the Call of Duty franchise at that time. And like people really kind of were tentative going into it because it came right after Modern Warfare 2. And people like loved Modern Warfare 2, and there was a different company making it. Like there's the Treyarch Activision switch every year. So it's weird to think about how like Black Ops has won this culture war when I think back to like how the general like consensus was when Black Ops was first coming out. Like it definitely wasn't at that point. People very much still have Modern Warfare 2 fresh in their memory. But now Black Ops has done it.
It's true. I mean, if they keep selling it, it's because something's working. I'm just having an idea right now because IGYL286 said we should make a side channel about music. I'm curious about the idea of making a side channel without a theme, where I guess the theme would be that there isn't really one and it's just whatever we're amused by. I think it'd be something, if what it is was ever to grow to be of a very big height, and we want the content on what it is to primarily be focusing always on analyzing internet culture. And this would just be like kind of our passion projects type thing, where it's just like, if you're invested in us as people to any extent, you could go to this, and it would not have any central theme. It could be anything from like Wes talking about the Smiths for 45 minutes to some of the like really dumb comedy videos we have talked about in the past, or there is like some idea. I guess the Kanye thing would be pretty amusing to me. I
have like my own personal channel where I upload stuff too sometimes, but like it's not very. the content's very like it's just me dicking around, me messing around. And I don't really like search for subscribers on it, but I could definitely see like having a was it that is the plan-esque sort of thing.
Yeah. It'd be called What Where What We Are.
What we are.
Let's do Hello Friends comments. Wait. Thoughts on anime or wrestling video games?
Wrestling video games? Wrestling video games, I played a lot of SmackDown 2010 through 2012. Wrestling video games, they're pretty fun if you're like, I don't know. They're decently amusing. It's hard to like grow as like a sports game sometimes though, especially when you're in like a when it's a bit of a meme like WWE is. And then anime video games are usually bad, but can sometimes be good. Like the Dragon Ball Z game's pretty bad, but
I played one of the GameCube Dragon Ball Z games, and one on a Game Boy. I really liked them at the time, but then again, I didn't have a lot of scope of reference to compare things to.
There's like this anime fighting game that's like really good, but I don't remember the name off the top of my head.
Wait, I might know what you're talking about.
Persona. I think it's what it's
That's
called.
not what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about...
Super Smash Bros.
The Korean map. I don't know. We'll comment it below in case we can think of it.
Yeah.
A few Naruto games are really good as actual video games.
Do you think we should start a gaming channel? Play Minecraft for hours on end?
I mean, the idea with whatever this auxiliary channel would be that it would just be a bunch of random stuff, and maybe you grow through that. At the same time, maybe you just get no subscribers because it's like people don't want to see like your random bullshit. I just like the idea of like complete throwaway channel where you just upload really dumb things, or just upload things that have nothing to do with one another.
Yeah, it'd just be me losing Dota games just continuously.
Slowly, like turning off your camera, and just talking. Fuck. Dude, do you guys want to hear me yelling in Dota games? You could go find some. All right.
Are we at the end of the road?
I believe so. This was a short stream today, but we think you should all get some rest. It's been a long week for everyone. I have a drawing to present with the audience, in case you're interested in what I've been doing over here.
It's a carrot.
It's a carrot. It's a carrot.
Pretty good carrot. I'll give you that.
Thank you. It's a bit abstract. It's a carrot.
It's like a carrot if you're taking hallucinogens.
Yeah, I guess so.
I'm
gonna be selling it.
Surroundings.
I'm gonna be selling it on our Patreon for starting at 600,000 V-Bucks.
I was thinking about this the other day, actually, is like, if you were a popular YouTuber and you made a painting and you had like some sort of online auctioning thing, like I think eBay has like a bidding service, like it wouldn't be as much as like traditional art auctioning prices, because those are like in the millions. But like if you had a fan base of like several 100,000 people and you had them all bidding on like a singular art piece, like it would get up there probably.
I actually just thought of a talking point with this that we can quickly bridge into, just because I find it really fascinating. I think it is something interesting that's happened in this week or past 2 weeks, is Banksy's resurgence online. He recently had like a viral clip surface of one of his paintings.
At the Sotheby's auction, yeah.
Yeah, it's like painting self-destruct when it was bought. Then there's another video, it might be older, it just popped up on my feed, but it was essentially like, when he had a 6-month residence in New York, he made some originals and he was just selling them at a park for $20 or $60, I think. And it just seems like a lot of commentary on like value of art type things, like what are the numbers we ascribe to these different things. It's also, most of his works have traditionally not been things that you can acquire. It's like graffiti. Yeah. So just, it's really fascinating because I'll say this now, but like, this is like personal idea I've had and like been fostering for some time, but like there's so much you could do online to make like really really impactful or important kind of like different types of art, just using the tools internet culture offers to make like things that really stand out. And I would love to see Banksy or some artist take the kind of like steps into doing something like that. Because even using YouTube as a medium, there are so many things you can do to like comment largely on different types of internet culture. And I think that we don't see a lot of it really, we don't see it yet. Some of it I'm sure is happening. I mean, I'm Poppy is a great example actually. It's kind of like internet age, just interesting commentary on like pop stars and stardom, things like that. Super interesting. Titanic Sinclair, charges, abuse charges aside, and also charges of stealing ideas from Mars Argo aside, I'm Poppy is a super cool, like, that project just fascinates me, and I think there's like a lot of room for things like that, and just seeing Banksy not necessarily being, I think, trying to get his stuff online, I think he can very easily like shake the internet if he wanted to.
Yeah, I think Banksy generally is like a very like can have sort of like cringy philosophical thoughts, but he is definitely very like outspoken against the sort of like monetization or corporate side of the art world, or the business side of it, and he's very much against like his artworks being sold for absurd amounts of money, which was kind of like the statement with the shredder built into the photo frame.
Isn't the apparent thing that like now that it's shredded, you could sell pieces for even more?
It's not like completely shredded. Like if you see it, it's like still attached to the frame to a certain degree.
Okay, Hello Friends said they're going, and so did IGYL. I think we just call it a.
All right.
We're only really doing this stream for those two people.
All right. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week. Look forward to some actual content coming forward soon. I think we say that with every live stream that we've done so far.
We're trying. We're trying real hard.
All right. Bye.
Peace out.